Alright, we're gonna work. Alright, so for this worksheet, we're fixing to do some examples together, and then you're gonna see a worksheet that's almost identical to this. But I want you guys to flip to the back. There are 3 basic things that we need to know to work all of these problems. Okay? The first thing, draw this quick diagram. Easy diagram. What do we know about angle A and B in this diagram? What do we call these? They're the same. What do we call them? Vertical angles. So we know in this case, angle A is equal to angle B. All right, so that's the first thing. If we got that in our heads, we're good. Okay? Second thing you need to know. Diagram like this. Angles A and B. We know angles A and B here are not the same, but what do we know about them?
They add up to 180.
Good. A plus B is 180 degrees because we call those a linear pair. Okay? So that's the second thing we need to know. And this is stuff from last week or maybe even the week before. This is old news. Yeah, this is from 2 weeks ago. Okay, so this, and then there's one last thing that we'll need to know, and this is from yesterday. So if you weren't here yesterday and you didn't watch the video, here's just a quick review of what we did yesterday. It's not hard. Yesterday we looked at triangles. Triangles have 3 angles. And yesterday we learned that the angles in a triangle add up to what? 180. Okay? That's all we did yesterday, is learning that the 3 angles in a triangle add to 180. No matter what kind of triangle it is. Okay? So if we know, and we do, if we know these 3 things, the front of this worksheet's not going to be that hard. Okay, so we're going to use those concepts here to solve these problems. Now these are not easy problems, they're not straightforward, we're going to have to do some thinking. Okay, so in example 1, this is the angle that we want to find. This right here. Now this would be considered an angle that is outside of a triangle. Okay, and that's actually what we're looking at today. Pretty much a lot of these examples are about angles outside of a triangle. This is an exterior angle is what we would call that. So we've got a linear pair here and here, right? We know these 2 angles add up to 180. So it would be great if we could find that angle. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we do need to find that angle. So he's on to something here. We know this angle is 98 degrees. Do we know this angle, or could we find this angle? What is it? What are these 2? They're vertical, right? So that one's got to be 22 degrees. So now we know that this angle is 22 degrees and this angle is 98 degrees. Back to what he was saying, it would be nice if we knew this angle. Can we now find this angle? We got a triangle, right? Anytime you know 2 angles of a triangle, you should be able to find the third one. We're going to add those 2 together. That's what we did yesterday. Exactly. We're going to add 22 and 98. 22 and 98 is 120. And then, yes, subtract it from 180. That tells us that this angle is 60 degrees. We still haven't answered the question about what this question mark is, but now we can do that because, like he said, these 2 are a linear pair, meaning they add up to how much? 180. So if I want to find this angle, 180 minus 60 tells me that this angle right here is 120 degrees. We did it. Okay, and it just took all of the things that we have previously been doing in order to do that one. Okay, let's look at example 2. So this time we want to find, the question mark's kind of off, but this is the angle that we're looking for right here. Any ideas how we're going to find that angle? Okay, so he wants to start by adding 43 plus 17. Why are we doing that? What adds up to 180? Okay, so try not to say your name, but you're doing really good today. So we're going to try to find this angle right here. What do we know about these two angles? They're vertical, they're equal. So if we can find this one, we've got that one. So he's right. We're going to find this angle. These two add up to 60. To find the third angle, we're going to subtract that from 180, right? 180 minus 60 is 120. So if this is 120 degrees, so is that guy. Questions? Is this making sense? It's pretty easy stuff, right? It's just putting together all of the stuff that we've done. All right, example 3. So this time we're looking for this angle here. Whenever you're looking for an angle, what you should do is you should see, is it either vertical or is it a linear pair with something? In this case, we got a linear pair. So if we can find this one first, that will help us find this one.
So 124 plus
Not quite, not quite. 124 is talking about this outside angle here, right? So right now in the triangle, we only know one of the angles. We only know the 105 degree angle. I don't know this angle, but can I find this angle? How? There you go. These two add up to 180 as well. So we're going to do 180 minus 124. That's 56. So this angle right here is 56. And now that leads me to, can I find this angle now? What do these three need to add up to? 180. So again, we're going to do 56 plus 105. That is 161. So together, these add to 161. To find the third one, we're going to subtract it from 180. I got 19 degrees on that one. So then, if this one's 19, what do these two add up to? Y'all already told me they were a linear pair. So we're going to do again 180 minus 19. It's 161. Questions about this? How can I make sure that 19 is correct? I'm going to real quickly, I'm going to add these three angles in the triangle just to make sure. 105 plus 56 plus 19. Okay, it's 180, so yeah, we're probably good. All right, y'all ready for example 4? Thoughts or ideas or anything? Not yet? Not yet. What should add up to 180? A lot of things should, right? These two shouldn't add up to 180, should they? No. But all three of these should. And all three of these should. So, let's see. In order to find the question angle, we really need to know both of these. Right? Yeah, but we really need to know either one of these angles first before we can do that. So, I cannot start here because I don't know that angle. But I could easily find this angle, right? What do those three add up to again? 180. So let's start there. Let's do 35 plus 23. That is 58 degrees. And then to find the third one, we're always going to subtract that from 180. That means this angle is 122 degrees. That helps me, why? Because what is this angle? It's also 122 because they're vertical. Very good. So now if I go back up to the top triangle, now I know two of the angles. Anytime you know two of the angles, you can find the third one by following these steps. So we're going to add the two that we know, 122 and 27. Whoops, 122 plus 27. That is 149. And then what do we do with 149?
180.
There you go. Whoops. And I got 31 degrees. That makes this angle right here 31 degrees. What vertical? These two are. 122 and 122. I can check myself really quickly. I can add these three up. 35 plus 122 plus 23.
Are we doing a worksheet today?
Yes. These three add up to 180. And then I'm going to check myself here. 122 plus 27 plus 31. Those also add up to 180. So we must be right here. Alright, ready for example 5? Now this one, the x is kind of put in a weird spot. But x plus 18 is talking about this angle. Okay? So in order to find x, we need to find this whole angle.
Well, it is linear.
Alright, yes, good. We've got a linear pair with this one. So if we could find this angle, that would be awesome. Can we find this angle? We can, because what do these three add up to?
180.
180. So remember, that is your go-to right now. Everything adds to 180, it seems like. So we're going to add 35 and 58. and 58 is 93. So these two add to 93. To find the third one, we're going to subtract 93 from 180. $87. That tells me this angle is 87 degrees. But we're not finished yet. Okay, like we said just a second ago, these two are a linear pair, here and here. Linear pairs also add up to how much? 180. So 180 minus 87, guess what? Is 93. See how if you do 180 minus 93 is 87, 180 minus 87 is 93. They're just literally flip-flopping here. So that tells me this angle is 93 degrees. That does not mean x is 93. This angle is 93. Well, this angle is also represented by x plus 18. So the last thing that we have to do is x plus 18 equals 93 degrees. And solve that. Subtract 18. 93 minus 18 is 75.
There's just one variable we ain't got to.
Yeah, if there's not a number in front of it, like a 2x or a 3x or something, you don't have to divide. Alright, let's save example 6. Let's do example 7 and then we'll come back to example 6. Example 6 got a lot. Alright, example 7. This one's actually going to be pretty easy. So this angle is what we want to find. Find it, and then that will help us find x.
Yeah.
Thoughts or ideas? What do y'all got?
85 and 64.
Alright, why are we going to do that?
Because very vertical.
Okay, so if this is 85, what's this one?
85.
There we go. And if this is 65,
65.
that's 65. So now we're on to the right track. If I know two of the angles in a triangle, I can always find the third one. So we're going to do 85 plus 65. That's 150. And then 180 minus 150 That's 30. So that tells me that this angle is 30 degrees.
That's it.
Not quite.
This should all add up to 180.
Yeah, 30 plus 85 plus 65 is 180. So this angle's 30 degrees, but that did not find x.
No.
If this angle's 30 degrees, that means 3x minus 15 is 30 degrees. I need to solve this. Three x minus 15 equals 30. How do we solve that?
You plus 15.
You add 15,
45.
and then,
Or you could divide by 3.
there you go. There we go. Now, you have to keep in mind, these problems are multi steps. Sometimes they take 4 or 5 steps. Sometimes the steps are just putting in your vertical angles, not hard, but these problems take a lot of steps to do them, okay? So don't think that you're just immediately going to know the answer. All right, let's go back to example 6 now. This one has a lot going on. Sometimes I have found in geometry that it helps to just start plugging things in before you even get to this guy. We want to find this angle. All right, so we got a linear pair here. So it would be nice if we knew this angle, we can find that angle. So that's what we're going to work towards. Now to get there, we're going to need to do some other stuff. We're going to kind of need to start over here and work our way this way. So, would y'all agree that these two are vertical?
Yep.
All right, so that one's 75. Would you agree that these two are vertical? So that one's 45.
Now we can add them up to get
All right, so we can find this angle right here because we know 2 of the angles, so good. We're going to add up 45 and 75. Whoops. That is 120. 180 minus 120, yes, is 60. That tells us that this third angle is 60 degrees. Before we do anything else, do not automatically assume that because this angle is 60, this angle is 60. That's not the case. Finding this 60 was helpful because that is actually going to allow us to find this angle. So think about this. What do these 3 angles add up to? 180. Why? We got half a circle, or because they're sitting on a line. Either way you look at it, anytime you got angles that sit on a line, they add to 180. So we can find this missing angle by adding those together. That is 139. And then subtracting that from 180. That means this angle is 41 degrees. We're almost there. We have started from the far left and we're working our way over. Okay, so now we're going to find this angle because again, we got a separate triangle. So we're going to add 68 and 41. $109. And then do what with 109? Subtract it from 180. That tells me that this angle is 71 degrees, and we said from the very beginning if we could find this angle, we can find our angle, our question angle, because they are a linear pair, which means they add up to 180. So one last step, 180 minus 71. Which I should have already known that was going to be 109. We did it.